Hey, welcome to this video. If you're new here, my name is Richard. I am a student here in the United States, and in this video we'll be talking about how you can apply to school in the US as an international student. Listen, this is not just a vague video, so we'll be going through the step-by-step process of applying to school here. I know trying to apply to school outside the US can be a very complicated process. You have to go through a lot of legal paperwork, contacting schools, and dealing with this whole new concept of studying abroad will be hard. But I tell you, it's an easy thing to do, and if you follow simple instructions and if you listen to people who have been through the process, you will get it. Okay, so let's just cut into the process, okay? The easiest way I can explain this process before we go into the detailed aspect of it is you apply to a school, you get accepted to the school, you get issued documents from the school, you apply for a visa, you get approved for the visa, and then you move to the United States. I'll be teaching you how you can actually go to a school's website, research the school, apply to it, and get scholarship. I want to talk to you before the process, the importance of planning, okay? So for example, if you know you want to move to the US to study, let's say 5 months, 6 months ahead, you need to plan your life accordingly. If you have some huge commitments back home, you need to plan a way that, for example, it will continue without you being in your country. So for example, my situation, I graduated high school in 2019, I remember. And I knew I was not going to go to school in Ghana, so I decided to not even apply for university at all in my country. I waited and I wrote the SAT, I remember, in December of 2019. Also, you need to plan financial-wise. Let me tell you, the process is very, very expensive. I mean, not overly expensive, but expensive in a way. So it will be more expensive than to go to school in your community or in your country. You have to pay for service fee, you have to pay for visa fee, you have to probably pay for admission fee depending on the school you have to go to. And getting all these documents, getting your passports will cost a lot. So it's better to plan in advance and get all those funds available even before you start the process so that you don't get stuck in the middle of it. Make sure that you know your financial situation. So for example, if you know you can be able to afford $20,000 a year for tuition, you should be searching for schools in that range. Or you can also search for a school with a higher tuition and get scholarship to the point where you have $20,000 left to pay, if that makes sense, per year. Another way you should plan ahead is for your test scores, okay? So you should make sure you have enough time to study. For example, if the school you want to go to accept SAT or ACT, you make sure you have enough time to actually study and take this exam, and I want you to do as best as you can to give you a better chance of getting scholarships. So let's discuss how you can research colleges. With researching colleges, I remember back in 2021, the websites that I used, I'll put them in the description and I'll actually go through them with you. I used niche.com and I used petersons.com. Petersons is just a great website. It gives you like a collective information about the school, and actually you can see the average aid that each student is getting for that school and the actual acceptance rate of that school, the size of the school. You will love it. I will show you all of that on my computer very soon when we get on to research schools. But aside money being the issue for researching your school, if you have a dream state that you want to live in, if you have a dream city or a dream school, I would say research more about that school. Or if you want to go into a school that specializes a lot in your major, you can also do that by using Petersons and also niche.com. Also, you need to know the admission requirements of the school you want to go to. So to me, if I'm being honest with you, I want you to, before you even decide applying, I want you to go and make a list of all the schools that you want to go to, okay? And then once that list has been made, go through all the admission requirements and get the common documents that you can get first. For example, all of these schools will need a passport from you. It's as simple as that. So you need to make sure you have a passport. They will also need your high school transcript. They would need your high school certificate, diploma certificate. They will need a lot of information from you that will be on their website. So I highly suggest that you get all those common documents together even before you start this process. It will make it so much easier because you don't want to apply and then in the middle of the application you get hanged over and then you have to go find something else to complete the application. So now we are going to jump into the computer and I will show you how you can research colleges using Peterson's and niche, and also how to actually apply to a college and get scholarships. Mind you, all of the information I'll be using is fake, so make sure you use the real one, use your actual information, and be professional throughout the process and keep a positive spirit as well. Alright, so this is petersons.com, and how you can access it is petersons.com. So this is the URL that you need to use. I'm just making sure it's recorded. This is the URLs that you need to use, and I know it's a complicated website and it just looks different and it's hard to see where you want to go, but you just need this one here, college and scholarship search. So you click on that. If nothing happens, you can just go search all colleges here, and then you just have this nice looking homepage. And then, so for example, Peterson's College Search 2, you need to find a college that you want to go to. If you've not watched some of my video, I do have a video that talks about the cheapest colleges. So for example, let's say Wayne State College. You know the name of the school already. So you can see right here that I just clicked on it, and so the acceptance rate of Wayne State is 100%, and the tuition out of state, which will apply to you as an international student, is $5,760 a year. And it says that it's in a small town, which is true, and it has only 3,860 students. So, you know, this gives you a detailed explanation that you would on Google, you know, if that makes sense. So it gives you the admissions email that you can, or phone number, or like the address of the school. You will see the major of the school, like all the majors that they have, and you will see the like admission rate, a detailed version of it, like how many male students are accepted and how many female students are accepted, and the GPA. Let me explain this to you. If you don't meet this requirement, still go ahead and apply. This is just like an average of all the students that come in. So like people will do better, people will do worse, and all counts as an average. And you can see all the deadlines of the schools and the test scores that they accept. This is the most important part, the tuition and fees. So it gives you a breakdown version of the tuition and fees that you'd normally not see anywhere. So like, for example, you see here that it's $5,760 that you have to pay out of pocket, and some of the fees like room and board if you want to, and the room only. So I would say it's a grade 2 and average financial age that you get. This like basic simple information. You just need to go there and see for yourself. But so let's say you don't know about any schools and you want to find a school. Your uncle lives in New York and you want to find a school in New York. So you can type New York, and it will give you a list of schools in New York. If there is a specific city, you can type the location here, or if you want to go to school in a specific state, for example, Nebraska. There is no New York in Nebraska. So for example, Nebraska, you just search again. Oops. Okay, so these are filters basically, I'm sorry. So for example, you want to find a school in Nebraska, you can just type Nebraska, in my opinion. It's just a collective search tool. See, you find all the schools in the state of Nebraska, including community colleges, like with their tuition and everything, and see how many schools are in Nebraska. So for this, let's look at Truman State University. Truman State, it's in one of my videos. It's in my cheapest school videos. It's $17,000, a little bit expensive than Wayne, but it's still cheap in my opinion. It's also in a small town, and you do get some scholarships. So for example, let's see how much scholarships that you get. See, out of the 17,000, which is this is what will apply to you, 17,000. You should expect $13,000 average tuition, if that makes sense, like financial aid. For international students, it may be less. So you can see $6,731. So that brings the $17,000 to like $11,000, which is like $6,000 a semester. It's doable in my opinion. It will be hard, but you still be able to make it happen. So you look at the school here and you find all the information that you need about it, and then let's go to niche. So this is what niche looks like. It's similar to Peterson's. So you can just go here and hit on colleges. And then, for example, you want a good college, that's a 4-year college, and they are good in computer science. So you type computer science here, and they'll give you the schools that are good in computer science. So let's say you did not do very well or in your SAT, or for example, you want a small size college or a small student body. So you use this to narrow down, and you can use this to also like type in your SAT score. So let's say you got a 1250 on your SAT, then it gives you schools that you will get into, if that makes sense. So like these are like list of schools that you will get into. And for example, let's say I saw Hendrix College and I'm like, oh, I like this college. Let's see what they are about. So you check like that, and you can see it's a grade A- school, which is a like very, very good school in my opinion. And acceptance rate is 68%. They don't really require SAT, but if you send it, they'll consider it. So you can also use this tool to like, they want me to log in and I don't want to do that, but you can log into it and then you can put in your SAT score and your GPA, and it will tell you the rate at which you can, your acceptance rate, like will you get in or not. So a simple thing, you can do this, Google search the name of the school, go to their website here. As an international student, you always want to find admissions because it will be different for students who live in the US or the native students, if that makes sense. So this school is hard to find, but like I said, it's gonna be hard. So you can just type apply today, and they can tell you to apply through Common App, or you can just apply and you will create an account, and you must choose in the application that you are an international student. Okay. For the purpose of this video, we will go with Truman State. Okay, Truman State University. It's not in Missouri, but it is in Missouri. Sorry. So Truman State University. I thought it was Arkansas. So this is all the information you need to know about Truman. And now let's head on to their website. And this is the website. You click on this, it takes you to the website of Truman State. As an international student, now you are confused. Where do I even go? What do I do? How do I find the admission requirements? Basically, all these schools make it easy for you to know where to go. You just look at admissions and you go to admissions requirement. Okay, make sure you always look at the admissions requirement. You see freshman student, transfer student, international students requirement, and then graduate studies requirement. You are going to be an international student, so you click on this, and you are, depending on whether you're an undergrad or a graduate, I'll go with undergrad. So you first have to complete an application, and it will tell you where to go. So for example, click here, and let's go back. And then you need to submit English proficiency, like something that shows that you're good in English. Normally, if you are from countries where they speak English as a native language, like Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, I think, like you don't have to submit anything. But if you're from country like Togo, Burkina Faso, like Francophone countries, then you will have to prove that you can speak English. And you can do that by getting a TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, like things like that. Or you can get a letter from one of your teachers saying that you are very proficient in English, and show if you've taken English courses. Also, you need to submit a supplemental essay. You need to submit official, I would say ignore this, like they normally say it, but yeah, so these are the things that you need: bank statements, certificates of financial support. So your sponsor will have to sign this form. Basically, like it's a form they fill and they sign it, saying that they'll pay the amount. like a legal binding form, and a copy of your passport and your immigration documents. Okay, so now let's jump into the application. Here's the tab for it. So you have to go in and create admission. So for example, this, and then you continue. But I already have, so they'll send you a code in your account, and you put it here, and you put your date of birth again, and you log in. But since I already have an account with them, I will go back and then try and log in with my account details. So this will be my login, and then I will log in. You can see I already have 2 applications submitted with them. Let's start a new application. So what are you applying as an international student? I don't see any international student here, so you can go with a freshman if you're a freshman, or if you want to transfer credit. You are not an exchange student, you are not visiting, or you are not a reapplicant unless you went to that school before. And let's say I want to do theater. No, let's say computer science. Let's say I want to do computer science. And have you previously enrolled? No. Do you plan to complete a degree? Yes. And then, so you just read through these things as you go. It's pretty self-explanatory. You put your documents here. Like you already have some of my name and my old phone number and my Ghanaian phone number. Like they have things like that because I applied when I was in Ghana and all of that, and I even applied when I was in the US. So like you go through all of this and you select all you need to do and put in all the information, continue, and then if you have siblings that have gone to the school before, you can type yes. Normally if you do, they'll give you some more scholarship because you have people that went to that school from your family. You put in your country of birth, Ghana, city of birth, let's say Accra, country of birth, Ghana, and you put in your country of legal permanent residence. So if you were born in Ghana but you have permanent residence in another country, let's say in an European country, you can put that in. Do you have a currently hold a US visa? If no, you say no. But if you do and you're a transfer, you can choose that visa. It's going to be an F1 visa if you're a student. So here the most important things come in. So you will have to upload, like for example, here you have to upload your passport. So you click upload and you locate your passport and you choose it. Basically, you choose your passport. So let's say for example, I had a, let's see. So for example, I can add this as my passport and I can go continue. Now this is not a passport, but for the purpose of this video, you can add it as a passport. Make sure it's a scanned copy, and the schools that you've gone to, you list them as well to consider for your credit wise, like the transcripts that they need from you. You can upload a copy, so the essay that you need to write, this will be the requirement for the essay. You choose one of the topic and you write it, then you save it as a PDF or a Word file, and the same way you upload it. And then you select whether you've taken SAT, you give the total, let's say you got 1,500 and I don't know, 1750, pretty smart person. And then you select the type of exams that you've had. In Ghana we write WASI, so that's what I had. And then you upload your WASI results, and then you can describe a little bit more. You can always describe these things, like what you did in high school, like express yourself, you know, like it's like treat it as a job opportunity and express yourself as much as you can. And once you do that, normally it will be so much helpful to do it that way, because they will know, okay, so you are into science, you know how to do some lab work, you know how to, I don't know, do some fun things. So like you spark some interest in them, and that way you will stand out better than other students, in my opinion, because normally people will leave that blank because it says optional, but I suggest that you fill them out. Like you can just say, oh, I already hit continue, I like to swim, or like something, you know, and you have to prove that you know how to speak English, and you can do that by taking any of these exams. But like I said, if you're from an English speaking country, you do not. So you continue. If you want to be considered for an English program, you go with this part, but if you don't, you continue. Me, I do not, so I just continue. And you can put how you learned about Truman State. So if it is a YouTube video, you can put a YouTube video. So like search engine, I would call YouTube a search engine, or whatever of this that fits your interest or fits your how you found the school. And you will here, it's very important, you have to put your high school counselor name and email address, and then continue. They will probably contact them for your information. So you know the financial support form that your sponsor will fill, the one that I showed you earlier, this is where you're gonna upload it. So you have to upload that as well here, and then you continue. And here you put in like your family members, their name, and like it's pretty self-explanatory. Your mother's name, are they dead, are they living at the same address? So you can, and if any of them have gone to the school, if any of them have, normally you will get a scholarship for that, like in most schools. So here, these are all optional essays. Like, so like I would say, so you note here that plagiarism is a ground for an immediate denier. So make sure you are writing the material yourself. I'll say take one of these things and explain it. It's optional, but it's a scholarship material, and you know scholarship is money. So I would say take that 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, the research that you need to do to get this figured out, and submit it. It's optional, but do it just for your sake to get more money. And then you are almost done with it. So you put in your name. So like here you put in your name, and then okay, I don't want to submit it because I put in a bad document, so I'll just say save for later. Okay, and once you save for later, for example, you can always come back and reveal it and continue. I did not want to do that, but I just wanted to prove to you that if you follow, I did follow the same procedure. And for example, let's say in 2020, that was the first attempt to come to America. So you can see here the things that they received from me. They received my passport, they received, so I applied through Common App in 2020. It's a Common App, so this is what it looks like. .org, I think. Yes, this is what Common App looks like. You can apply to lots of colleges through the Common App at the same time, so that you don't have to go through the whole process of like doing it all over again. So normally you can sign in. I don't know if I don't have my logins anymore. I don't even remember them, but you can sign in. So all the documents that you put in Common App will go to the school. So my passport, my essay. So even if you see it was an optional essay, they still received one on my behalf. My English proficiency score, and they were still waiting for my bank statement and my original or certified bank statement and my financial support. I did not choose to go to Truman, so I did not submit those. But for example, I will show you, voila. So it shows my current, like my old address in the US, but it says congratulations. And even I've set it into the computer science program for the semester of this. And even at that time in 2021, Truman was in 2020, Truman was a little bit cheaper. They gave me $8,000 worth of scholarship. So for example, even let's use it at now, $17,000 tuition, I get $8,000 scholarship, brings it down to, I believe, what, $9,000 a year. And if you divide it by 2, that is $4,500 a semester. Even though that is bad, it's still better than the $20,000 that I see some of you pay. You know, like, get the cheapest school as possible if you can. Do your best to go to college for free in America if you can. But go through the process with high enthusiasm. Like, go through every interview that you have, and do your best. So once you get to this stage, for example, you've been through it, you've been accepted, you now know how much you're gonna pay. You go through all the schools. You go through all the schools that you've decided to go to, see which one you'll be paying less or which one strikes your interest more, and you go with it. So the next steps, I'll make a video on that, a visa interview. You will have to accept the offer, admission offer, pay the tuition and all the things that you need to pay for. You don't have to pay the tuition, I'm sorry. Security deposit if the school requires it. And you need a document called I-20 from the school. And once you are done with all of that, you apply for a visa. I will show you how to do all of that. And it's as simple as once you pass your visa interview, you get your visa, you can fly to the United States and you can go to school. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this with me. I've been very busy these days, and I wanted to just make a video where I'm just talking to you where it's not like really scripted. So this video might look weird, but I want you to subscribe, leave a subscription. You can email me, you can follow me on Instagram to catch up with my life. I would start posting updates on my Instagram if I'm very busy or out of town. But you can always reach out to me in email, on my email. I'll put that in the description, and send all your concerns and I'll reply as much as I can. Anyways, thank you for your time today. Thank you for watching this video. Again, my name is Richard and I'm your friend.